So this needs a little bit of context because most people don't know what this is about. This is called Disability Day of Mourning 2022. The Disability Day of Mourning is a yearly event where disabled people around the world get together to mark the murders of people who were killed by their carers. It happens so often that every year there is a very long list of names. There is a set of archivists who collect these stories, collect the names. They try and find details about the people who were killed, because one of the features of these types of murders is that almost universally the press coverage is sympathetic to the killer, not to the victim. So when I talk about disability rage, this is about the most rage-filled I can do. It does obviously have a content warning there's a couple of graphic moments, but every single story that I refer to in here happened just from the last year. The world is covered with scars, if you know how to look. The girl outside trying to wash blood from her hands with snow. There are scars where we salt the earth with tears, places talked about in whispers, becoming ghost stories and folk tales where unspeakable things happened. Today, we do not whisper. Today, we speak the unspeakable things, because every year we are back here. Every year, a new litany of names. Every year, a gathering of the dead. This land is covered in scars, every one in absence, a life ended by blood or breath, by people meant to keep them whole. Every betrayal an echo on the wind only some of us seem to hear. In all of Babel's languages, I lived. We only know these ghosts by the way they died, each name given what few fragments of color the archivists could find. She liked to paint. She gave her money to people in need. He loved to dance. She was a light for her friends. He was too young to like anything yet. But mostly what we know is it was so hard for the killer. It was an act of love. He stabbed her because he didn't want her to suffer. He strangled him because he didn't want him to be embarrassed. She killed them because they didn't take their medication. She drowned her because she was in pain. He killed him because he was broken. You've got to understand, it was so hard for them. You've got to understand. Everyone understands. The girl in the garden using snow to wash blood from her hands from a knife still stuck in her sister's throat. The house where a father broke his baby's bones. The pond where a mother tipped her from wheelchair into water. The desert where the boy was found, throat crushed by his mother. But your horror at the starved scrap of a child's body, or the blood-choked elder, eases on hearing the anesthetic words, which turn slaughter to sad for the killer, understandable for you. They were disabled. Even in their own murders, they're not the victims. There are scars on the land if you know where to look, and we do. We collect the dead like wildflowers grown in concrete and barren wastes in places where love should have let them grow strong. We collect their brightnesses, even if all we knew is that they bloomed here for a time. There are scars in the world, and we cannot heal what has been broken. We plant the seeds, tell the stories as whole as we can. We grow meadows on graveyards until their lives are as important as their deaths. Each life a blossom of raging color, who should have survived to send their wishes out into the world. So we wish instead for our garden to grow smaller, this walled and guarded space no longer needed, as the world blooms with daisies and dandelions, orchids and sage, sea lavender and flame lilies, belladonna and starflowers, a riot of life covering the earth, each one its own glory.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, we'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button, if you could hit the subscribe button, and make sure to ring that bell icon so you don't miss any updates from us in the future. If you want to go that extra mile and support us a little further, we do have a Patreon channel with loads of exclusive goodies, and you can sign up for as little as $1 a month. We appreciate your help, guys, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.